never ends, and they will find it is not death but dawn. I do not doubt that you are there as here, and you will hold them dear. Our life did not begin with birth. It is not of the earth. And this that we call death, it is no more than the opening and closing of a door. And in your house, how many rooms must be beyond this one where we rest momently? Dear Lord, I thank you for the faith that frees, the love that knows it cannot lose its own, love that looking through the shadow sees, and you and they and I are ever one. So gone, but not forgotten. God bless. So also to bring it up a little, for all of you that are here, I would like to read to you this letter that I received from Anita Acevedo. This week on March the 23rd, 2020, I received a phone call from Mrs. King. She informed me that a group of seniors joined together to create a card wishing me the best of luck on my new job and future endeavors. I did not expect the next thing Mrs. King said. She stated that these seniors collected money to give to me along with the card. I was out of words for the first time in my life. I told Mrs. King I was so sad that I did not get the opportunity to tell each and every one of them what that meant to me and how that made me feel. So today, I want to tell each and every one of them, thank you from the bottom of my heart for taking time to think of me in that special way. I will forever be grateful to each of them for having known and shared very special moments with them all, like the bus trips, birthday celebrations, all the holidays, the talks about their children, grandkids, but most of all, their warm smiles and hugs given to me throughout the years. That is what I will miss the most from all of them. Please tell Lorraine, Vera, America, Eugenia, Deneen, Darnetta, Harriet, Jackie, Jenny, Aria, Maria, Rosa, Pearl, Barbara, Susan, Helen, Ramona, Alma, Charlotte, Alice, Linda, Jessie, Adrienne, Sandy. They are all being missed. Tell Glenna I miss her smile and crazy ways. If I missed anyone, forgive me. Again, thank you so much, and I will see you all soon. God bless you all, and that's from Anita. Also, I would like you all to know that I sent a sympathy card to Mr. Mitchell's daughter, and the sympathy card included all of the names that I was able to get from Charlotte and Jessie and Harriet and Jackie for the people that were riding in the bus with Mr. Mitchell. So it was sent to his daughter on behalf of all of the seniors. I think that's all the updates that I have to give you. And so moving right along, we'll have our updates from Aaron.
Thank you so much, Gloria, and thank you for those words. It's nice to hear from Anita, and the passage you read was beautiful. He doesn't, nothing does that justice. It was a hard decision to, to read those names over a call like this, and I know how heavy-hearted that is. And I just want to take a moment of reflection myself, to say that the last 5 months for all of us has felt in some ways like 5 years. We've all been through so much, but we're together. We are a community, and seeing all these names and faces on here, 52 people right now, shows me, that our community is not, fractured from it. It's not broken. We continue together. I also recognize that there are names on there that, or there are folks in your lives whose names are not on there that maybe you've lost during this time. And we want to make sure that there's, a lot of extra and additional time to reflect together and to remember those folks and folks in your lives as an extension of our community. So when we are, back in this space, we'll make sure we have a a memorial board of some kind where we can all add things to, and we'll keep talking about it. And I also want to know that we're all here, and we're happy to chat with you and to spend some time with you, if that would be helpful, particularly if you just heard a name that maybe you didn't know, somebody had passed or left us. I've been at the Isaac Center for 8 years now, and I knew all those people, really well, and I'm very thankful for having known them, and thankful to know all of you. So I know I have a lot of updates to give you and not a lot of time to do it. So I will try to jump in and try to answer some questions you might have. Hopefully I can be preemptive in that. So the first big question is, when are we going to reopen? When is the
Really
senior center
quickly,
going
just
to
a
reopen?
reminder for a couple people that jumped in, let's try to make sure we're muting ourselves because there's an echo. Thank you.
Yes, mute yourselves if you can, please. So the big question is when the senior center is going to reopen. That's the question on all of our minds, and what we want most is to be in a room together. Unfortunately, we can't reopen the center yet. The government, as you've probably been watching, the state updates and the city updates, they're phasing in reopenings, and senior centers are going to be in the very last phase of that, because of the particular vulnerability of folks over age 60 to this virus. But there are things that we will do and can do. We are meeting. We have a committee of directors together talking about recovery and reopening, what that can look like, how we might be able to phase it in when it is safe. And we will communicate that as soon as we can, that there is nothing more than we want than to do that. And if we can do it in a safe way and do it in a tailored way, with less people and less crowds, we'll do that as soon as we can. So, more to come. I know that's not the satisfactory answer that you're hoping for, but you'll all be the first to know when we can do more on site. I can't wait. I did not get into community social work to work at my kitchen table 4 days a week, and I love the 1 day a week that I'm on site helping with meal distributions, because it feels closer. So I know a lot of you are very eager to join us there, and we are too. Okay, so a couple things. There are some questions about whether or not we'll be a cooling center this summer. We are not yet a cooling center. We are in conversations with the city about how we might be able to open our doors as a cooling center, for a limited number of people per day. And we will announce that through robocalls and through the email blast if that is possible. It's really just depends on whether or not the city can provide us with enough safety precautions to do it. So hopefully we'll have an answer on that soon. It's midsummer now. Our primary objective is to get everybody air conditioners. So I'll kind of launch into that air conditioner conversation. If you are still waiting for an air conditioner in your apartment, please let us know that. We have been working, you've probably heard on the news, the mayor's office, bought 38,000 air conditioners for seniors, but it's been hard to get them to some of the folks that need them. We've sent referrals through Department for the Aging, through Department of Health, and through NYCHA, to make sure everybody can get a unit, and some things are just taking too long. So please keep communicating with us. Let us know if you've gotten one. If you haven't, if you still need one, let us know. We have a deadline with Department of Health of this Friday to put more names in the system. So please, let us know that, today, or no later than tomorrow, so we can make sure your name gets in. We have, just for numbers, so you can understand like what we're at, we have identified 180 people, 180 of our members that are in need of air conditioners. As of today, we've referred everybody. 85 of them have units in their apartments and are on and working. Everyone else is waiting for installations. We were able to purchase a number of, for folks that were not eligible for those programs. So we're doing everything we can for air conditioners, but I know everything we can is not always good enough if you're waiting and sitting in a hot apartment. So please share your experiences with us, and we'll do what we can to move that along. the social work team. So many of you have been working with the social workers. Some of them are on the line here. We have Rachel Samuel, our social work supervisor. Albert is here. Gloria is on. And Amar and Jasmine are both working part-time, but that's it. Many of you remember Jennifer. Jennifer did not return from maternity leave. She decided to stay home and be a mom full-time, which we're happy for her and thankful for the time she spent. But there wasn't a lot of, it happened all at this time when we were, shutting down the programs at the center. So if you weren't aware, Jennifer isn't with the agency anymore. She's doing well and staying in touch and sending us baby pictures, but
Okay.
she's home. So we are short, on social work staff without her. So I just want to say, if you need help, we're here. Reach out to me, to Rachel, to Albert, to Gloria, and we will get to you as soon as possible. We have volunteers calling to ask how you're doing too, and we'll follow up. Just have if it takes a couple days for us to return the call, that's why. Just have a little patience with us. If it's an emergency, make sure you tell us that, and we'll get to everybody and make sure that we do what we can for you. So if you need a social worker, you can email us. You can call us it's still the main number. We can get our voicemails from home. I'm extension 114. The desk is 110. So please call. Our social workers are working very hard from home, and they haven't missed a beat. So please utilize that service. I'll update on meals. So want to make sure everybody has enough to eat. We have a number of things happening. A lot of you are getting that Get Food program from the city. We understand that program is not ideal. It is not very nutritious. They're leaving things outside. Sometimes they deliver them at weird hours. In some cases, it's too much food. So our goal is to try to get folks off of that program if you don't want it. So please communicate that to us. If you live within a general vicinity of the senior center, so if you live in the development there or within, I guess, up to 3rd Avenue or from 86th Street to 106th Street, we might be able to deliver you some extra meals a couple times a week. We're doing additional deliveries Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So if you'd rather that might be an option. Let us know. You can communicate that to me or to any of the social workers on that list. If you live further away, we may be able to utilize Meals on Wheels if you're eligible, our Meals on Wheels program. We can do a screen for that and talk through how we can make sure you're getting healthy food. So as we're going into month 5 or month 4, whatever it is, we don't want you getting cheeseburgers and chicken fingers from Get Food all day. That's not healthy, and that's not good enough, frankly. So let us work with you to do that. We are doing grab and go meals at the senior center on Tuesdays and Thursdays, starting at 11:30. If you're out and about and feel like that's safe for you with your mask, you can pick up meals to go at the center 11:30. I think it's 11:30 to 1, but I have had feedback that in certain cases they've run out before 1. So I would suggest getting there within the 11:30 to 12:15 time frame. That's happening. That food is being cooked in our community kitchen. So our kitchen is running every day. We have a team in there cooking and freezing and sealing these meals that we're then able to deliver in some cases and do for grab and go. So the center right now is a food hub. We're getting some pantry items as well, which are being handed out or delivered. So if you're hearing this and saying, I'm not getting enough or I'm not getting healthy stuff, please let us know that. We want to make sure that we can figure out what's best and right for you. And that Get Food program is not always going to be the right fit. I know I'm talking fast as usual, but I want to get all these updates in for you. We want to make sure people have the technology that they need in order to utilize our virtual programs. Gemma's going to tell you more about virtual programs shortly, but she has built a virtual senior center, and we need you to participate in order to keep that funding coming in for those programs. So please, if you're free and interested and available, Gemma sends out emails every day with the schedule. Log on to some of those programs. I have my group on Thursdays. You can call in, as many of have here, or video in, as many of you are doing. If you are on the phone or have talked to neighbors and friends who don't know how to use Zoom or don't have technology to use Zoom, talk to us. We're trying to figure out how we can get you either simple tablets or help walk through the phone service. Whatever your need is, talk to us about it. We'll see what we can do. We were able to purchase a few tablets, and NYCHA was able to get a lot of tablets to people, but we know that there's still a gap. We want to know what that is so we can help fill it.
Are tablets still available, Aaron?
The tablets are not available through NYCHA and not right at this moment available through us, but I am collecting names so that I can figure out, you know, what fundraising we can do and what's available for us to get them. And, you know, I'm committed to making sure everybody can participate and stay social. You know, this lack of socialization is really, you know, having an impact on everybody, I think. So please, you know, let us know how we can get you more involved, whatever the barrier may be. I wanted to do a quick update so I think everybody who signed up for that March trip got their money back a couple months ago, but then we identified one person who didn't, so that got sent out. But if you paid for that trip in March that got canceled, and you gave that money to Anita, I want to make sure that we get that back to you. So talk to us if for some reason that didn't come in the mail or you didn't get that. Just want to put that out there again. Obviously, it's going to be a while before we can take a big trip again. So we want to make sure that that money comes back to you. Okay, so that's my big list of updates for the moment. So I'll let someone else update. If you have comments or questions, please put them in the chat or follow up with me after, if those don't get answered.
Thank you, Aaron.
Yes.
All right, I think I'm next.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you,
I'm
Aaron.
gonna go ahead and share my screen really quickly. If someone wants to just let me know if they can see it. Can you see the screen?
Yeah.
Yep, okay. So
Yes,
I'm gonna
I see
be
it.
talking through this for the people who are also on the phone. So a lot of people have been hearing about the farmers market coupons.
Yeah.
So typically the farmers market coupons were distributed at the center. And
Oh, she's pregnant.
just a reminder for everyone to mute themselves so there's no feedback. So as a result of the pandemic, we're not distributing them in person. Department for the Aging is now distributing them via mail. So you have to apply for them. I'm gonna go through the process for that in just 1 second. So there are eligibility rules just as there were before. Have an income earning no more than $1,968 if you're a one-person household, $2,658 two-person household. The registration just opened on the 6th and it ends on the 31st. They're going to be first come, first serve. I believe there's about 46,000 booklets that are going to be given out. So the earlier you can jump on that opportunity, the better. There are 5 checks in each coupon book and each check is worth $4. So in total, the book is worth $20. So when you get the chance to apply for it, if you're interested, definitely jump on that opportunity. To apply for them, you can complete the application by going to nyc.gov/aging, and there's on the screen, the first thing you see is about the farmers market. I also am emailing out the link and the just a reminder for everyone to mute themselves.
Excuse me, Gemma. Somebody's not muted.
Yeah, I can hear that. So, sorry, 1 second. So to apply for the coupons, you either go to nyc.aging. I'm going to be sending the link as well through email, but if you're on the phone, There's also a way to do this on the phone. You can call 212-AGING-NYC or 212-244-6469 and say that you're calling in regards to the farmers market coupons. You can also try calling 311. If you have any issues and want some assistance trying to apply for these, you can reach out to us at the center and someone will get back to you to try to help you walk through that process. So that is the farmers market coupons. Also, as you know, if you guys have been keeping up with the Cuomo updates, as of right now, New York City's doing pretty okay in terms of COVID, especially given where we were before. I added a little screen grab of the testing sites in the area of the center. There's a City MD on 96th Street. There's a City MD on 86th Street. There's the pediatric urgent care. The hospitals are obviously a testing site. So if you feel like you have any symptoms, it's best to just get tested so that you can address your symptoms and have them monitored earlier rather than later. Testing for you can go to coronavirus.health.ny.gov and click find a testing site. Again, I'm going to be sending this link out. Or you can call the COVID-19 hotline. The hotline is a really great resource, especially if you're on the fence of if you want to go get tested. They also can point you or direct you to any resources if needed. They're offering hotel rooms for people who feel that they're not able to social distance from other people if they've been diagnosed or tested positive. The number for the COVID hotline is 888-364-3065. And the testing sites are supposed to be free. You don't need insurance for them if they're run by the state. So if you're gonna wanna make sure that either if you have insurance and you wanna go to your doctor, that your insurance will cover the tests and that where you're going takes your insurance, or make sure you find a testing site that is run by the state and should be free. Okay?
Thank you.
So the next thing is Senior Planet. Senior Planet is a really good resource. Of course, we want you to be participating in our programming so that we can continue to provide programming virtually or in person, hopefully when that happens. But they also have some programming if there's something specific you're looking for. They have a lot of tech support classes as well. They also have a hotline set up for tech assistance. They have a national hotline that's open Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. And the phone number for the national hotline is 920-666-1959. So if you guys got tablets to join our programming, or you're on laptops and you're trying to get acclimated with using new technology you haven't used before, they're very helpful. Of course, we're here to help you as well. So if you need any assistance, you can reach out to me or reach out to this national hotline. So for program offerings, as you know, based on the last meeting as well, we've been doing programming virtually. So we've primarily been on Zoom, but we do have the capability to do like calls as well. You can call into these meetings. Right now we have a bi-weekly mental health art therapy group with a licensed art therapist. Then we have the bi-weekly self-care group, which is led by Rachel, which is really great. That one just talks about how how to manage self-care, especially given the circumstances where we're inside a lot, which may be unusual for us. So it's a really vital resource. And there may also be an opportunity to listen to a lecture or a group led by a professional organizer who may help you help with your organizing needs, especially as we're sitting at home a lot and surrounded by our stuff. We also have our popular stretch class, which is led by an instructor who teaches at Asphalt Green. We have the chair exercise classes, which are hosted by Visiting Nurse Service in New York. We have live music and tribute shows, and of course the group with Aaron, and happy hour and other events that come up as the time passes. So we have a lot of offerings, but we of course want to be offering as much as we can. And that the programming that we're offering is interesting to you guys. So I have sent out a survey in the email last Friday. I'm going to send it again after this. If you guys can complete the survey, that would be really great, because of course, as we're providing programming, we want to make sure it's programming you guys are actually interested in and not just programming to provide programming. We want to make sure it's also at a time that works for people, because some people wake up early in the morning, some people are more afternoon people, some people prefer late afternoon, night. So we want to make sure that when that this is designed for you, because you guys are the ones that are utilizing it. So yeah, that's my spiel. If you guys have any tech questions, any need any assistance navigating Zoom, have any questions about the programming, please do not hesitate to reach out. I wrote my email in the chat box. Is jmarens@isaacscenter.org. And my phone number is the Isaacs phone number, which is 212-360-7620. And my extension is 198.
So then I would think that if you're done, Gemma, the next up would be Frank.
Yep. I don't know if Frank's on though.
Hey everyone, I'm here. I was just about to go deal with something. I'm on site today, but I am on the call. Hi everyone.
Hi.
Happy everyone was able to get on today. There's a couple of things happening that I just want to touch on real quick, and then again, I'll open up the floor if folks have questions specific to anything about the facility or anything going on with the food programming here at the center. In terms of the facility, our folks, our team continues to work on the space. We continue to keep it disinfected, make sure everyone's healthy, make sure the food coming out of this building is safe and healthy, that the space is as clean as can be, and is as ready for folks to be in it on a daily basis as they go through their work every day. In addition to doing sort of the general cleaning and the disinfection, our team in facilities is also working on some moderate changes to 415 specifically. Obviously, at some point, the goal is to have everyone back in the building. And when you come back, we want you to see a space that looks nicer than when you left it. So we're going through, starting with offices, eventually getting to activity rooms. And in offices and activity rooms, we're painting, we're putting in new molding. In offices, they're putting down carpeting. So hopefully when you come back, you'll see a space that's that looks cleaner and it looks fresher and it looks more inviting. And we're just trying to, take this time, as bad as it is to be out of the building, to pivot and turn it into a positive. And it's an opportunity for us to get some work done to get the space in order. So that's a good thing. Just on the food topic, I know Aaron touched on what's happening with food here, and that, we have our kitchen churning out meals, and, we've been actively engaged in food distribution for a number of months since, sort of this COVID crisis started. There have been some changes to the food programming here. We had some community partners who, for the first couple of months of COVID, were providing us with additional support. They were providing us with additional meals, whether those be sandwiches or sort of plated meals. We had our community kitchen working in the evening, churning out a bunch of meals, and there have been some changes. As COVID has become certainly not a more distant topic, but certainly not an immediate topic anymore. We've had some community partners who have pulled back their support of the meals programs. I'm sure shifted that in other directions. So we no longer have certain partners providing us with food. That obviously decreases the amount of food we're able to, put out into the community. As Aaron mentioned, our community kitchen continues to move and put out meals, but there has been certainly a decrease in what we're getting in. And I'm sure folks, as I've heard anecdotally, are noticing that when they come into the distributions. Whereas in the past you may have gotten 3 meals, maybe now you're only getting, a plated meal and a sandwich. So that definitely is a shift that we've noticed. Again, just based in drop-offs in community engagement. To sort of continue to support the community beyond the meals, we have started working on a pantry model. So folks who've come out to grab and go maybe in the last week or 2 weeks may have received a bag with a dry goods, to stock up their pantry a little bit. On Friday, I know that Aaron sent out some packages, that were home delivered to folks of, pantry items. And we're going to continue to try and refine that model, bulk up that model, and continue to try and support the community in different ways, while still running the community kitchen for as long as that's, feasible. If there are questions, again, about the facility, about technology, about food that I can be helpful in answering, I'm happy to do so. If not, Gloria, I'm going to turn it back to you.
I just want to know, what about the ladies' room? Is that being worked on?
In terms of the renovation,
Yeah.
so we have not had follow-up from NYCHA. I'm sure that COVID has derailed some plans. I will certainly reach out now that you bring it up and sort of try and rekindle that flame, because we did have money allocated for both the ladies' room and the men's room for a full-scale renovation in there. So let me reach out to them. I'll do that as soon as I get off the call, and I should hopefully have some information, as to where they're at by the next time we meet.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Frank.
You're welcome.
Okay. Is Crystal going to come on? Crystal,
When can we ask questions?
at the end.
So, Gloria, I believe Crystal had to jump
Almost
off
the
for another
end.
call.
Excuse me. Excuse me. What was it, Frank?
I believe Crystal had to jump off for another call.
Oh, okay. Okay. And so is Potki available, or Greg?
Hi, this is Greg. I'm here. Pocky, are you on as well?
Yes, I'm on too. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
It's great to see your faces. Pocky, do you want to give a little bit of an update on the city budget and how it's affected seniors?
Sure. It's wonderful to see everybody. As many of you, I'm sure, know, the budget for the city of New York passed about 2 weeks ago. It was a difficult year, as I'm sure you've seen and read, as far as the the current fiscal gap for the city. And so as a result, there were a number of funding streams that were cut for organizations like ours. Our organization is fortunate in some ways because we have multi-year contracts. And so that means that we are guaranteed certain streams of funding for multiple years for the senior center and for our home delivered meals program. Some of you, I think, are also aware that the city has put out what they refer to as a request for proposals for the home delivered meals program, which they're going to redo next year. We are going to be applying for that funding, but for the time being, the funding that we normally get, we still have. Where we did sort of see some gaps and some loss in funding is the one-time funding that we get from our city council members. And while there was a lot of advocacy done to try to communicate that funding is critical to our operations and our services, some of that money was cut. There are always opportunities, throughout the fiscal year for the government to make decisions about whether to reallocate funding or to put funding back or to cut further. And so it's just as important as it's always been, or perhaps even more important, for all of you to stay connected to your elected officials to communicate how important our services are and how critical that funding is. Greg, I don't know if there's anything you want to add.
No, I don't have anything to add to the city budget conversation, except to say that it was a challenging year for a lot of reasons. And I don't think our sector, the social services sector, settlement houses like us, senior service organizations like us, organizations that serve older adults or kids, we're particularly happy. So we'll continue to do the work that we need to do to advocate on behalf of our seniors, but your voices will matter, and we'll have to figure out and utilize every strategy we can think of to speak up and speak out, even using these online virtual, using our computers, tablets, our phone calls. That type of advocacy matters now. And so we still have to let our legislators, let our mayor and others know what we think and what we feel and what is right and what is wrong. So we just have to do it in a different way than we've done it before, but it will continue to matter more than ever before.
So in light of that being said, I know at one time with Aaron, we used to send letters. So is there a list, a name, or how we could go about sending letters individually or as groups?
Yeah, Pocky, do you want to say a few words about the best ways to reach out to our electeds or the best ways to communicate with them? Letter writing is definitely a strategy. I think there are others too. Do you want to say a word or two about that, Pocky?
Sure. Letter writing is always is impactful, especially when it is done in large groups. And so when elected officials receive a number of letters that communicate similar things all at once, it tends to have the most impact. And so instead of reaching out individually, if we were able to coordinate letters, and if you were able to get that content to the staff, you know, whether it's your social worker or Aaron or me, and we compiled those things and then sent those out all together, that is likely going to be the thing that is going to be the most impactful. So Miss Gloria and Darnetta as well, if there's a way for us maybe to talk offline about how best to coordinate letters or other communications that you're receiving from our membership, you know, Aaron and I can work to make sure that those get to the hands of the elected officials.
Okay, well, I mean, we could certainly work on something like that, because for those people that you know, that are involved with me with sending out the cards, we could certainly take the initiative to get you know, to get them signed and send the letters out. So we'll talk about that and the best way to get it started. And of course, the sooner the better.
Sure. It's also possible, as always, to reach out to your elected officials individually too, if you so choose. If you need help connecting with those offices, please do let us know, and we'll provide that information to you. I wanted to say one other thing just regarding community, and it's so wonderful to see everyone come together in this way. I want to make sure that folks understand that we stay committed in this organization toward meeting as much of your needs as we possibly can. But especially in this time of crisis where we are less connected than we would like to be, we need to hear from you more often about some of the challenges that you're experiencing. Greg and I met with some community leaders within the Holmes and Isaacs development very recently, just a few days ago, and we got to hear about some of the concerns, particularly in the buildings in and around the Isaacs Center. And you know, we got to sort of understand more about the challenges that those residents are experiencing. If there are folks on the call or others in our membership who you know who are experiencing you know, issues related to heat, hot water, air conditioning, elevator service, etc., please do try to communicate those challenges to us as quickly as we can, so that we can continue to work with our partners in government to make sure those challenges are addressed. Greg, I don't know if you want to add anything to that.
The only other thing I would say is not just for time now to talk to you, but you know, I'm in the office on Mondays and I've had the opportunity to see folks. And I'm really grateful to those of you who are volunteering and supporting each other and staying in contact with each other. The only thing I really want to add is that I am aware, as the staff is aware, as our I think in particular.
Greg, I'm sorry, can you just say that last part one more time? You're breaking up a little bit.
Sorry about that. I guess I just wanted to say that we know things are very challenging and they're not getting easier. And I want you to know that we continue to try to think about, to support you, and to stay in contact with you. But the reality is we don't necessarily know when things will feel more normal. So we at the Isaac Center are going to try to change in some ways how we do our work and how we think about our work, to be able to try to meet your needs and the needs of other seniors and community members, to make sure that folks are healthy, they're feeling safe, they obviously have food. We're worried about air conditioning and cooling. But I think as an organization, we're kind of changing in real time to try to meet needs. And the more we hear from you about what you need in order to be able to do that, the better we can do it. And I think the more we change to meet your needs, the better we will be as an organization. On behalf of the entire staff, those of you you're familiar with and those of you you may haven't met, we are all committed to your health and wellness. And we're going to continue to work as hard as we can in every way we can to try to make sure you're doing okay, as we try to take care of ourselves and our family.
Okay.
Gloria, I do see that Damien is on. I don't know if you wanted to say just a few words before we get to comments and questions and whatnot.
Okay, Damien.
No questions. Okay.
Sure, I'll be very brief. Thank you, Gemma. I really appreciate being a part of this community. One of the things that I missed was coming to your meetings monthly to speak to your group. I have so much respect for the elders in my community and the elders in the Isaacs community, and your graciousness, but also your willingness to help us hold these young folks accountable, because we know that kind of supervision is how young people grow up into healthy adults. So in the youth programs, we've been continuing to operate. We have run virtual programmings straight through this entire quarantine. We actually received funding to run a summer program. So we're actually running a summer program right now, virtually. Many of our young people are cooking some of the food that you've been able to eat. So we have a number of young people working in the kitchen. They've been really committed, and they're really excited to be able to contribute. So I just wanted to say thank you for allowing me to be a part of your community. And I really am moved by the things that you said and your thoughtfulness. And certainly my thoughts go out to all of you who have lost someone, or friends or family and colleagues. But I really appreciate all of you. And this is how we get through this, is together.
And thanks for coming on, Damien. I really appreciate that. I wasn't expecting that. So it's good to see you and to know that your program is funding and the kids are going to be busy for the summer.
Absolutely.
Way to go. Okay. Thumbs up. Okay. So now I think, Gemma, we're ready for Aaron with his chat.
Yeah, so I'm gonna unmute everyone. I know this is chaotic. You can mute yourself if you're not gonna ask a question. That is preferred. So all
We're
right.
trying this. Last time we didn't even try it. So.
Don't have a question. Mute yourself. We'll try to get to them as best as we can. Are there any questions?
I'm going to call on Sally, because I know Sally has been trying to ask a question. Sally?
Sally?
Yeah,
Oh,
what's your question?
Yes, dear. I thought the farmers market vouchers were going to be mailed out.
Yep.
But are they going to, because I signed up.
They are. As long as you signed up, they're going to be mailed to you. It's a little different.
Okay, that was it. I just want to make sure.
And just to recap for everybody, if you need help getting access to those farmers market coupons, $20 in vouchers, get in touch with us, because we can help you put it through. Gemma did send out the information if you think you can do it on your own online, but we can help if you need to. A little different than last year. The only other question in the chat is, can you please add exercise classes like skills in motion, Pilates from Asphalt Green? We are very open to those recommendations if we can get some commitment.
That would be great.
So Gemma,
Yeah.
Gemma and I have to figure out, week to week what we're focusing on and what we have to cut, because based on your attendance. So if I have 53 people on here today and I ask you all to participate in an event, or a program in the next couple of weeks, we could probably do it. Okay? So the answer is we can try.
Yeah, with the programming, again, first the survey, make sure you're filling out that survey so I know what you guys are interested in and I can kind of gauge what we should keep, what we should get rid of, what we could add. And also attendance is important. For the exercise classes, we had the chair dance class, and it wasn't getting a lot of participation, so we moved it to every other week. And since then, we've had a pretty popular attendance for that class, so we moved it back to once a week. So that's kind of how these classes are going right now. Is we're getting about 5, max 8 people for the classes. So they're kind of low, and we have 53 people on the call right now. So if you're interested in these classes, attend if you want to see them. Yeah, and I
Thank you.
understand
Magic number is still 5, and we can't count a program for Department for the Aging unless we have 5 people in it. That hasn't changed. So we need you all to participate.
I understand it can be difficult to participate in an exercise class online, but people do it. And
That's right. We're all exercising less. We need to keep moving and stay strong.
Keep moving.
Yes, yes. Deb, my arthritis is feeling it. No exercise.
Mine too.
Sure,
Mine
you're
too.
alone. All right, the other comment I have, remind people of happy hour that comes soon at 3:30. So right after this call, you can jump on happy hour. And I hear like it is a uproarious time. Jose always comes with the good background. And I think Denise is on there and Gemma joins. And I've promised I'll pop on at some point, say hi at happy hour. And then somebody said they completed the survey but left out the times. That's okay. So,
any information you missed out, just shoot me in an email.
right. Anybody else have questions we want to jump in the last couple minutes here?
I want to ask a question, please.
Sure. Is that Elsie?
Yes. I wanted to thank you for all your help to you and Gina. You mentioned about the letter that we should send it out. By any chance, do you have a sample letters of what we need to say in the letter to our representatives? So if you have one, can you email me one so I can have an idea of what to say?
Yeah, that's, thank you for that. I think what we'll have to do, and we'll work with Gloria and Darnett and internally here to figure out some guidance for that. And then maybe we can send out an email to everybody.
That'd be great. And where do we need to send the letter? Back to you?
Well, so that's what we'll figure out, you know, who best to send them to and how we should tailor the message there. And then you can make it your own and send it in.
Thank you. When you have ready the outline, can you please send it to me so I'll be able to do right away?
Yeah, we'll send it to the whole group, to the Isaac's email group. And again,
thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Elsie. If you're not getting Isaac's emails yet, make sure you send us your email. You can put it in the chat or call us with it. That goes out. That's about 200 and plus people on that Gemma's sending info to. Good way to stay connected.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Well,
another question. Can I stay at the same place for the happy hour?
It's a different link.
It's a different link.
Go to the email I sent.
Different link.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Email. Yeah. Flora, you had a question?
Yes, I have a question. I haven't received my funding back from the trip. We paid both of us paid, and me and my husband, and we haven't received our funding.
Laura and Larry. Okay, well, look into that right after this. Okay.
And I called, and I needed the air condition, but I called this morning and gave Helen my information. She said she was gonna get to Rachel.
We'll make sure that I'll double check and make sure you've been added to the Department of Health list. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all for the meeting too.
What about surgical masks?
Masks. Well, so
I just responded to you, Yamina. I just responded to your email. You guys have needs for protective stuff.
Okay, thank you.
Send us an email and hopefully we can try to address that need. We do have to coordinate a little bit, so call us, email us.
I sent you an email already.
Yes, but just for everybody, if people are having trouble obtaining masks and gloves, please let us know that. We'll figure it out. I did just receive yesterday from our program officer of the North that they're going to be sending us some masks that we can give out in addition. So,
Oh, that'd be great.
we should have some. Please let us know that everyone should be safe and make sure that we have to go out. Any other questions?
No, I see Linda lit up. Did you want to say something? Linda?
Who is that?
No?
Okay. Well, works pretty well.
So,
Gloria.
so before we end, you know, I always like to leave you with something positive, and this is: life is full of many special gifts. When we count our many blessings, it isn't hard to see that life's most valued treasures are the treasures that are free. For it isn't what we own or buy that signifies our wealth. It's the special gifts that have no price: our family, friends, and health. So that being said, stay safe, have a good summer. You'll probably do another virtual meeting in September, but just to know that from my heart to yours, I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Back to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gloria.
Thank you, Gloria.
Thank you.
And thank you, audience, for
everybody.
the email. Thank you.
Thank
Good to see you
you.
too.
Thank you. Bye.
Next time you're gonna have a
Miss you all.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Gemma.
Bye.
Yes.
Thanks,
Karen.
Thanks, Aaron. Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Rachel and Greg and Tati, thank you all for coming
Bye,
out.
Albert.
David,
Bye.
you have a good,
Bye, Richard.
okay.
Okay, now. Have a good day, everyone.
Bye, Janetta.
Bye-bye.
All of you, I
Bye.
miss all of you. I miss all of you. And when Aaron said to call Gloria, he didn't mean for you to call this Gloria. He meant the other Gloria.
Okay.
I see you soon. Hola.
All right, everyone, try to join the happy hour.
Thank you.
All right. Hi, Miss Gloria. Bye, Miss Gloria.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you all for coming on
And
board.
Bye,
Marlene
Happy
too.
birthday.
Bye. Bye, Isaac Center.